She lost everything: her husband, her home, her hope. She walked into a foreign land bitter and walked out blessed. This is the story of Ruth, and it changed history forever. Welcome to Sacred Sagas, Bible stories that change history. I'm Naomi, and today we're unrolling one of the most beautiful love stories in the Bible. Not a romance novel, a redemption story, a story about loyalty, loss, and how God rides straight with crooked lines. This is Ruth, from Mara to Blessed. It starts in a famine. Ruth 1:1. In the days when the judges ruled, there was a famine in the land. Bethlehem, the house of bread, had no bread. So a man named Elimelech takes his wife Naomi and their 2 sons, and they leave God's promised land. They go to Moab, enemy territory. 10 years pass, and in those 10 years, everything falls apart. Elimelech dies. Both sons marry Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth, and then both sons die too. Now Naomi is alone, a widow, childless, in a foreign land, with 2 daughters-in-law who are also widows. Can you feel the weight of that? She says it herself later in verse 20. Don't call me Naomi. Call me Mara, for the Almighty has dealt very bitterly with me. Naomi means pleasant. Mara means bitter. She went out full. She came back empty. This is where most stories end, in bitterness. But God wasn't done writing. Naomi hears the famine is over in Bethlehem, so she decides to go home. And she tells her daughters-in-law, go back to your gods. Go back to your families. I have nothing left to give you. Orpah kisses her and leaves. But Ruth clings. And then she says the most famous vow in the Bible. Ruth 1:16-17. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die. This is huge. Ruth was a Moabite. Her people worshipped false gods. She had every reason to go back, but she chose covenant over comfort, loyalty over logic. She chose Naomi's God. Application for us. Sometimes blessing starts with the choice to stay faithful when it's hard, to stay loyal when it costs you. Ruth didn't know where this was going. She just knew who she was going with. So they walk back to Bethlehem. 2 widows, no money, no men, no future. The whole town says, can this be Naomi? And she says, call me Mara. It's harvest season. And Ruth does the only thing a poor widow could do. She goes to glean, to pick up leftover grain in someone's field. Ruth 2:3. And she happened to come to the part of the field belonging to Boaz. Happened? No, that was providence. God was already working behind the scenes. Boaz was a relative of Naomi's dead husband, a kinsman redeemer. In Israel, that meant he had the legal right and responsibility to protect the family line. And Boaz notices her. He sees her work ethic, her loyalty to Naomi. He tells his workers, let her glean, don't touch her, give her extra. Ruth 2:12. The Lord repay you for what you have done, and a full reward be given you by the Lord. The God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. See it. She came to take refuge under God's wings, and God gave her Boaz. God provides, often to ordinary work and the kindness of strangers. Ruth wasn't looking for a husband. She was looking for bread, but God gave her both. Long story short, Boaz redeems her. He marries her, and Ruth has a son. They name him Obed. Obed fathers Jesse, and Jesse fathers David, the king of Israel. Ruth 4:17. A son has been born to Naomi. The women say it. God turned Mara back into Naomi, bitter into blessed, empty into full, And Matthew 1:5-6 puts Ruth right in the lineage of Jesus, a Moabite outsider in the bloodline of the Messiah. That one choice at the crossroads didn't just change Ruth's life, it changed history. Because God takes what looks like an ending and makes it a beginning. Ruth's story tells us three things. God sees you in the empty seasons, even Mara's seasons. Your loyalty matters. One faithful choice can echo for generations. God redeems. He takes bitter and makes it beautiful. If this story blessed you, hit subscribe for more Sacred Sagas, Bible stories that changed history. Next week we're talking about David, from shepherd to king. Drop a comment. What part of Ruth's story hit you most? I'll see you in the next saga.